Good morning and welcome back. This is Arm Bushido for DrySox AR, and have a little gameplay here in the background and some things that have been kind of on my mind this morning as I played. I decided to work my American line a little bit, and I also I watched Slick Beat quite a bit. If you haven't watched, he's really great. It's helped me out immensely with my gameplay. It's one that kind of got me doing more simulator battles. But on to another point, he's kind of had some topics too on this, and one of the main ones is capping. We all want to get on the cap, because generally if you can get a cap, that one cap could carry you, especially if you start out with, in realistic battles, start out with a medium vehicle. That the points you get from a cap could carry you through the rest of the game, especially if you get a few kills. It's definitely going to help your lineup getting through it. But on another note, in a case of like right now, okay, so there's a couple people on cap, which I have no problem with. 2-3 people get there, that's great. More than one person's get the point. It's where people have a tendency to just take, a really fast AA or something to that effect and go out and quickly cap the point to be the solo capper. Now, again, there's times when, that's okay. There's no one else around you. Somebody's got to cap it, and I'm all for that. But, if you're solo capping and there's guys coming up behind you, please pause for a few seconds, give them a chance, get in there and cap. It only benefits the team so more people have points, so they can actually spawn in more vehicles if they die. It does nobody any good to race out there, die, and not have points to bring in another vehicle. You've just handicapped the team. Which brings the point, is generally, is to spawn early on in a vehicle that will require you, so you can two spawn. A lot of people grab the heavy tank right out of the box and go for it and get killed, and then you're done. You're just out of the game. And I really feel this kind of can be entertaining. I know we all want to level and progress our vehicles. In fact, my heavier tanks have kind of fallen by the wayside because I always spawn in one of my mediums to keep going, and it just really helps out immensely, to give everybody a chance. Anyway, that's kind of my soapbox on that topic, and it varies from map to map. Sometimes when you got an encounter map, it's hard to sometimes the team that gets the cap first and can generally win the match, especially in encounters, because there's only one spot, and some of them, once you've established them, there's the way the terrain is, and I'm trying to think of one of the maps that really represent this well, and I can't off the top of my head, but the rest of the team can have a good overwatch, and they can control the whole board from there. But again, and that, I guess the one point is, like, if you are fast capping and there's no one else around you, fine, go for it. Apparently the rest of the team did not want it, but there's been many times where I've, like, guy runs up fast caps and I'm like, hey, I'm getting there because that person took, an AA or something that's really speedy. Right now, what I'm playing right now, the M18s, the Hellcats, we all know those things are like race cars, and they can get there quick. Probably the other thing I noticed, as you can see, I'm flying here, is the combined arms thing. First off, I play War Thunder. One of my favorite things about this game is the combined arms. One of the main reasons I play. I don't think it'd be as fun if there wasn't. I know planes there, and I know the frustration a lot of people have, you know, in ground battles with the airplanes. But I think that's what makes War Thunder unique, that we can have this combined arms thing. And I really encourage everyone, please bring a plane. You know what? And that's not to say, too, you know, there's some matches where I'm like, oh my gosh, everybody's in their damn plane. And we've lost matches because of that, because the ground vehicles have gotten on, capped everything, and the guys up in the planes are not doing enough damage or whatever to get, you know, points to get back in a ground vehicle and get back in their cap. Or the ground vehicles have got a good, especially in a map like this, where, you know, you get on cap, you can get a ground vehicle under cover, and it's going to be hard for a plane to get it. And that brings up another thing, you know, I mean, a lot of people that fast cap take their AA out, get the fast cap their AAs down when not a lot of planes are around. And I can't believe I screwed with that. I'll change the subject. But again, this is a combined arms thing, so I think having in your lineup, you know, a little bit of everything really benefits the team, you know. And, you know, starting out with a vehicle that's not an AA gun, but maybe say a medium, and I'll even, you know, say, hey, you know, I have no problem with the Hellcat starting out, but at the same time, you know, if you're racing to cap just to cap it, you've got some of these other guys coming up with medium tank that can't quite keep up with you, know, just pause for a second. But again, about this whole thing is that having a good balanced lineup, you know, playing AA, it's important. Look, there's AA going on. Anyway, just something I thought about, you know, with War Thunder. One of the, again, like I said, the reasons I play War Thunder is because of the combined arms. You know, the ability to be in a battle, drive a tank, fly a plane, they all have their place. They're all important. And I guess you're making it a little too low. We can't keep up. Anyway, that's just some thoughts I had as I was playing this morning. I played a few rounds, you know, gotten a little frustrated. People are beating me to cap because I'm trying to take out the proper vehicle. And it's like, come on, you know, I was there. You know, you couldn't have stopped for a few moments. And then there was one match where I think I was the only one that had a plane. I'm like, I know a lot of people, I'm not the best pilot. I am not. I don't fly a ton, but at the same time, I do try to bring out a plane and, you know, participate a little bit. And if I think we need to get a plane out there, let's get it out there. Anyway, that's just kind of my public service announcement for the day, and I'll get off my soapbox. Again, I really enjoy War Thunder. This is out of all the tank, quote-unquote, games out there nowadays. I've said this many times. I think it's really positioning itself for the future in the sense of we have everything in one client, and now it's starting to get a really solid foundation. And that's not to say it's perfect, but I really enjoy it. And again, the more I do realistic battles, and then I go back to arcade or go back and do World of Tanks like I did the other day. I did a review on the Thunderbolt 2. It really became frustrating because my mind was in realistic battles, and I was just, honestly, I was just horrible. I was just doing really bad. So again, anyway, just some thoughts for this Saturday morning as I drink my coffee and been playing a little bit. I am hoping to do some more videos today and tomorrow. I had kind of been started. I did one video where I was working on some news stuff and trying to, you know, just round up the general news, some things I spot I think everybody might think is interesting. And I just haven't quite figured out what day to do that on, because sometimes things get announced even on the weekend. So I try to make sure I'm correlating it all in one. And then again, this week seems to be kind of slow. There wasn't a whole lot that I seen from any of the major tank game sites, or any of them. So I was digging around for some other stuff to kind of throw out there for news this week. We'll see. But again, yeah, there'll be some more videos coming up. And you know what? Throw some comments out what you'd like to see. You know, there's a ton of YouTubers out there doing reviews of vehicles, strategy, all that, and I feel, one, I'm not that good. I'm not good like as good as Slick. I'm not as good as Baron. So for me to come in and, I can give my, opinions on things. I am a history buff. I am a tank buff. Kind of odd that I ended up, I love armor, but I was in the infantry, light infantry. But I really do like armor, and I do have some good knowledge, probably a lot of useless knowledge, as far as when it comes to vehicles. And that is one thing that kind of irks me when somebody, that play these games and they don't quite understand the history behind the vehicle, and or the other side of that is some YouTubers go so deep into it, it's like, oh my gosh, I just don't, and that's good. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do like the attention to detail at times. Sometimes it makes the video drag out, and that's one of my goals always, is to keep the videos kind of short and have a purpose. And then, like I said, this one was just kind of a public service announcement. But in general, and I knew there was a tank. Sorry. As I'm watching myself play, I'm going, I knew there was another tank over there somewhere. I got spotted, and I kept, mentally, my mind was on that corner, but I knew I had to press forward. And, maybe I should have went back hunting that way, because there was already enough of my team pushed forward that that really I wasn't going to help out much going that way anyway. But anyway, again, yeah, throw down some likes, dislikes, tell me, just general chat, whatever. I don't play, I'm actually thinking about trying to find a good squadron or group to play with, because currently the group I'm with, and I've said this in a couple other videos, great group. They are just a little bit, they're not consistent, and I generally don't play with them. So I'm looking more for a weekend kind of group that I can hang out on weekends. Weekdays are tougher because I work and stuff. But anyway, hope everyone has a great Saturday afternoon. And again, this is Arm Bushido for Dry Sucks AR. Don't forget to give the thumbs up, thumbs down, or whatever. And I'll catch y'all later.